I believe that the market's going to continue to soften before it improves.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no doubt about that. The high interest rate environment is going to lead to higher cap rates. And so pricing is going to soften, and that's how we're penciling and underwriting our deals. So for us to buy a deal right now, this is something that anyone should be applying to their real estate investing strategy. Is you need to be able to buy it at a discount, and you need to be able to add tremendous value. Those are the two rules that I need to abide to in this climate. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Report Saturday edition. And I got my co-host, Miss Alex Johnson. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. How's it going today?
It's going amazing. We're coming off a busy but productive week. And super excited because we got our Beers and Deals meetup this coming Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. here in Lida, Italy at the Simone Building.
Yep, November 8th, Wednesday, our second to last one of the year. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. For any of the listeners, if you guys have not attended, and if you're in the Southern California area, would highly suggest you guys come out. It's San Diego's biggest real estate investing meetup. We've been doing it for almost 5 years. We usually get 100, 150 plus. Good vibes. We got sunset views, bay views. And if you're not in the area, maybe fly out. We have
you got time.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time. We've had many listeners or just people in our network just come out. And it's been so freaking cool to meet them and I don't know. I've met so many cool people just through our meetup. It's been amazing.
Arizona, sometimes LA, don't have to fly, but yeah, all over it. It is cool to see people specifically come out for it, and it's awesome meeting them.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a nice dinner last night up in Del Mar with some of our private lenders. They actually just did a refi for us on the Black Sands Inn up north. And one of our good friends now, Travis Doubt, who comes to our meetups and ironically met through Instagram.
Yep.
And he was the one that connected us. And these lenders are local here in San Diego. They do a lot of private equity stuff. And they do a lot of creative stuff, and they can write large checks, which is cool. But just always good to build connections and relationships with those types of folks because you never know what kind of opportunities that's going to lead to down the road.
Yeah, definitely. I think, they're a good time. Happy hour turned into hours, which was great. Everyone was having great conversations, and it was good to see everyone kind of connect with Travis and Megan and them. And I think they really liked that, we're local, because I think they do deals all over. So they don't really get the personal time with, a lot of their clients sometimes. So I think they really enjoyed meeting in person. It was a good time.
Yeah, they reminded me a lot of our other lenders that are selling us the Washington deal. Lauren and I went up there a couple weeks back and we're hanging out with them, having a good time. But they reminded me a lot of them in that they are very social and like to just kind of, they do a lot of their lending based on relationships. So it kind of makes sense. But man, it's ironic because now Travis is like a close friend of ours.
Yeah.
The story of how we met was funny. He was telling it last night at the table, but he started following the podcast and social media, and he had no idea we were based here in San Diego. He thought we were just out of state somewhere, didn't think anything of it. But Travis actually owns a condo in this same building where our office is located. And so I always Uber Eats my lunch every day. And so I was out around 12 o'clock picking up my Uber Eats at the lobby. And Travis was just walking through and he was like, wait, what? And said hi. And we ended up grabbing coffee because he does a lot of private equity stuff. He raises a lot of money for funds in the private equity space. But it was a small world, and that connection has led to a good friendship and a lot more. So you just never know what kind of folks you're going to meet through social media, right? Yeah,
and it goes back to I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but when we were talking about all about relationships, it's so true. That's kind of how everything kind of sparked, for these connections. So
yeah, I mean, I always say if you are not where you want to be in life, and or if you're not making the money that you want to make, it's simply a function of you're not shaking enough hands and you're not meeting enough people. And I truly believe that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Anyways, well, with that, why don't we jump into our topic for the episode? What you got?
So this question comes from one of our listeners, Austin. Austin would like to know, what are the most important factors to consider when buying a deal right now?
Man, I love this topic because, for the last 10 years or so, up until 2022, we were in a really climbing and appreciating market. And so when prices are going up, interest rates are going down, you can really just ride that organic wave. And there's a lot of organic appreciation that comes with it. The rents are going up. There's inflation. And, every few years you can do a cash out refinance. Liquidity's high. People have extra money to put to work. People are refinancing their single family homes to improve them, to put in pools. People just have extra money. And so, obviously a year and a half ago, let's go back. Let's go back to 2020, because I think it's important to kind of remember the timeline of how we got to where we are. So we had COVID, the pandemic in, February, March of 2020. Everything shut down for a few months, and everyone thought, oh my gosh, we're going to go into this crazy recession. But the government just decided, or the Fed decided, we're going to just start printing a lot of money. They printed about 45% of the currency in about an 18-month span. And, we get into early 21, and all of a sudden, we're like, wow, like the world just shut down, and the Fed did not allow a recession to happen. Like, think about that. And they just printed 45% of the currency. And so now all of a sudden we see interest rates are lower than ever. We saw the interest rates reach zero. And so you could get debt for 2.5, 2.75. One of the deals we bought in 21 is an apartment deal, Timber Creek Apartments out in North Carolina. And that one, we got an intro rate of 2.38%, interest only for 5 years, non-recourse, 2.38%. Obviously, is floating rate, and that's a whole different story that I'll get into, and I talk about in other episodes. But that said, the interest rates were at an all-time low. You saw the writing on the wall. There was a ton of inflation. We just went through a complete shutdown for an entire year with this world pandemic, and the government did not allow a recession to happen. They bailed everyone out. And so everyone's thinking, okay, well, it's time to buy a bunch of real estate. It's time to, just get aggressive. And then all of a sudden, the Fed comes out and does 11, 12 consecutive rate hikes. And the interest rates went from, mid twos to, now it's like, we're looking at some stuff that's the interest rates are 7.5%.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about, And so, the times have changed. The cost to borrow money is a lot more expensive. And so a lot of deals don't pencil. We're seeing slowdowns in a lot of different markets right now. That said, if you would have told me a year and a half ago that the rates would be at this level for a year and a half, and we wouldn't see a significant reduction in pricing across all asset classes in all markets, I would have thought you were crazy. But it really is a testament to how good the fundamentals are with real estate in general. I think a lot of markets just have a shortage of supply, and the demand is still there. And for a lot of these asset classes, multifamily especially, self-storage, mobile home parks, a lot of the residential stuff, single-family homes. I mean, there's never going to be a technology that replaces this, the basic need for shelter and a place for people to sleep and store their belongings. That's never going to go anywhere.
True.
I mean, what are we seeing out here in San Diego right now? I think rents are still going up,
They're crazy. I kind of keep my eye on the rental market. I rent around here, and I'm always just kind of keeping an eye out for, just to see what the market's like. And I would like to move, but at this point, I think I'm just going to stay put for a bit. Like, they just keep climbing and climbing.
You have a great deal on your rent.
Yeah, I do.
You have a 1-bedroom here in Bankers Hill. Well, what do you pay?
I pay under $2,000.
Wow.
Just under $2,000.
And it's funny because, I'm sure some of the listeners are in different parts of the country. They're like, oh, that's a deal. What do you mean that's a deal? But no, like in San Diego, that is, you're in a great neighborhood. You're 4 blocks from Little Italy.
Yep.
You actually have peak views of the bay, I believe, from your place. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and it's a larger floor plan.
Yeah.
For less than $2,000. That's a really good deal.
I mean, it's pretty outdated, I will say, but I've made it my own. It
has character.
Yeah, I like it. It could definitely have some improvements, but I've been there for almost 5 years, which is kind of crazy to think about. But I mean, if I think I were to leave, he could, hike it up a lot more. So I'm just kind of staying put for now. We'll see what happens. But yeah,
absolutely. So anyways, I say all this in that times have changed. And, in 2017, 2019, you could buy a turnkey product and you could just let the organic appreciation happen and you're going to make money. In today's climate, there's a lot of uncertainty. The Fed has all the control with the interest rates. Who knows how long they're going to stay at these levels? We have an election year next year. So it'll be really cool or interesting at least to see where these rates navigate. I hear all sorts of different experts out there saying different things. Some people are saying, hey, the rates are going to be this level for quite some time. We might even see another rate hike or two. Some people are saying that rates will normalize in the 5.5 range. And then people like Grant Cardone are saying we're going to see 3% rates again in 2 years or 18 months. So who knows what's going to happen? But I do know that the strategy to buy right now has shifted. And so I believe that the market's going to continue to soften before it improves. I think there's no doubt about that. The high interest rate environment is going to lead to higher cap rates. And so pricing is going to soften, and that's how we're penciling and underwriting our deals. So for us to buy a deal right now, and this is something that anyone should be applying to their real estate investing strategy, is you need to be able to buy at a discount and you need to be able to add tremendous value. Those are the two rules that I need to abide to in this climate. And so what does that mean? Well, that means I need to buy a product that I can either buy at a heavy discount because it's underperforming or it just is tired. It hasn't been renovated in decades. Maybe the operations is not, where it needs to be. They're not utilizing technology, whatever it might be. That's what I need to purchase. Or the deal that we're buying right now. It's a brand new construction. There's no value add, but we're picking it up at a significant discount because of the situation, right? In that particular situation, the developer was trying to operate the property, was not a hotel operator. The lender took back the property. They only financed about 65% of it, so they're going to sell it to us for 72% of the appraised value. It doesn't need any work. It's brand new. It's turnkey. But our value add is we're getting it at a discount. All we have to do is get in there, implement some good operations, some good marketing, get this thing cash flowing, and then once we have the income to show for it, then we can refinance into some permanent debt at the higher valuation. So the value add doesn't always have to be a heavy renovation, does not always have to be a heavy lift, but I say all this in that you should be buying something at a discount right now, especially when there's a lot of fear in the marketplace. There's not a lot of buyer demand. So a lot of these properties are sitting on the market a little bit longer than they used to. And instead of having 30, 40 buyers like they did in 21, often there might only be a couple buyers or maybe there's none. Maybe you're the only one, right? So, it's a time right now to where you should be going in and expecting discounts. And then number two is you need to be able to add value, right? And I think if you can buy a deal that abides to those two things, you're going to create equity. You're going to force your appreciation. And what that does is it gives you a margin for error and a cushion should the market continue to soften. And I believe it's going to continue to soften before it improves. But like all things, things go up, they come down. Things that go down, they come back up. And the good thing is real estate never goes to zero. If you study real estate over the last 100 years, it always goes up in the long term, right? So I'm not afraid to buy right now, but if I can find something in a good location that abides to those two rules, I'm doing the deal, especially if it pencils under the more expensive debt. I would rather buy something at a discount today that I can add value, even at the higher rates, knowing in a year and a half, 2 years, I can refinance a cheaper debt. The extra cost of interest right now is a fraction of, the value that you can add when you buy the right deal. I truly believe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's almost like online dating, right? Like some people have more value, some people don't. Buy at a discount, whatever. I don't know.
That's a good.
I don't know if that was a good analogy.
I'll have to think about that one.
I'm still thinking about the Michael Sartain podcast. What episode number was that? Was like 100? It was
100. Yeah.
Anyways, so Austin, to answer your question, man, those are the two things. Buy at a discount and make sure that you can buy something to where you can add tremendous value. And as always buy in a good location. You can always fix the property. You can reposition the property, but you can never fix and reposition the location. So those are the two things. And with that concludes our Saturday edition. She's Alex Johnson. I'm Rich Summers. Listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.